Perfection. When I move on, I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I move on. I am titanium. Yep, exit. Okay, schedule stream. Sure. I have an iPad just down here because I don't have a second monitor. Broke activities. I know it's not even broke. I mean, I just don't got the money for it. But once we get to a certain degree with the job and streaming, we'll level up. Oh. Mm. Maybe that. Mm. Oh, that's record vertical. Loki was using the wrong shit. That is what's up. Machine gun. Comfort me. Why won't you answer me? The silence is slowly killing me. Oh yeah, you really got me bad. You really got me bad. Oh, why do you do what you do to me, yeah? Oh, why won't you? Probably can see a very good view of my double chin right now. Not the best. Is this working? I don't know. Let me stop here because this isn't going anywhere. Okay. Enable. Vector encoder. Encoder should already be connected. Let me just go here really quickly. Sorry, y'all. I don't know who I'm saying y'all to because there's probably nobody in here. There isn't. But, you know, just in case, good to practice that. I'm still not good at streaming. Might as well learn courtesy with this right now. You know. Should say I'm already streaming right now. I'm pulling 0 views, but that's either here nor there. Exit that. Now, that should connect it. This should be good now. Yes. Yay! Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Yes. Yeah, baby. Y'all can't see it, but I can. This is pretty awesome. Ooh. Super lag right there, okay. Do what you do to me, yeah. Why won't you answer me, yeah. We're almost there. Probably should do this beforehand. Manager. And then this should be good. Alright. Boom. My bitrate is not the best, but could be worse. Okay. And then we're just going to put that just a little bit down. And yeah, alright, cool. Okay, it's good. It saved everything. We're good. We're chilling. We are chilling. Alright, boom. We're pulling up Opera. I have to change this. Okay, stream. Doop. Boom. There you go. Now y'all can see. Ignore that. I got a video from Joe Bartolozzi I'm trying to watch. No. No. No, it was this one. Unbelievable. Okay. Anywho,
If I were to ask you who you are, what would your response be? Initially, you might start out by obviously saying your name. If you're in a formal
just in case y'all don't know Joe Bart, this is him. Y'all definitely know him, but on the off chance, and just in case you're from an alternate reality or you're an alien, this is him. Go follow him. Like in the video.
setting, you might give me your full name. If we're more in a friendly bar, school-esque setting, you might say, hey, my name's Joe, right? If your name's Joe, my name's Joe. So you're obviously just going to say your first name. No need to, oh, my name's Joe Bartolozzi. Nice to meet you. That would be weird. But outside of that, you're probably going to mention maybe how you grew up, where you're from, your favorite sports team, what movies you like, your favorite musicians, what you want to be when you grow up, certain things that...
The video is sometimes I don't even recognize myself. This video, I was like 5 minutes into it, and then I was like, I kind of want to save this for a reaction to streaming, which I'm doing right now. But really, really simple, also kind of stupid, but regardless, I just wanted to save it for, a setting where I could actually convey my own thoughts and opinions to a possibly wider audience. Nobody's probably going to see this live. In fact, nobody is seeing it live, but on the off chance that I edit this and stuff like that, maybe I edit this into some short form content. This is what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Alright. Yeah, Joe Bartolozzi. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself. And so far what he's talking about right now, what I can really just kind of like divulge is that a lot of people will use their name as a way to identify themselves along with their interests. So their favorite sports team, maybe a favorite show, or just like a genre of like music, like maybe it's like a genre of like series, like the fantasy genre or something like that. You know what I mean? But ultimately, people use their associated interests and really their name as a way as a sort of blanket statement to who they are, because there's so many facets of who you are that you can't really get into the whole nitty gritty of it. No one has the time for that, obviously. So you're going to offer somebody, your name as a means of essentially trying to explain that.
Signify and give you a uniqueness that separates you from other people the person you're talking to have met. But you're not actually answering the question. When I ask, who are you, and you give me your favorite movie, where you're from, your name, none of those things are actually you. You're just answering that in a way to give me a sort of, slot in my own brain of shelves to put a face to a name, right? So I remember you. You're making me remember you. You're not actually letting me know who you are on a deep level, what you believe, who you are as a conscious being orbiting this planet. You're just saying, hey, my name's Joe. I really like Superbad. That's my favorite film, blah, blah, blah. And it's supposed to make me remember you and spark some sort of stupid fucking taxi-esque weather conversation. I'm going to be all over the place with this video, but I just kind of want to open up by saying that I don't know who I am. Not saying I don't know what I want to be. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know who I am. All I know.
Just to pause really quickly and give some commentary, that way I don't end up looking like XQC or anything. With regards to this, I think a lot of people feel this way, especially if you're young. I think a lack of identity or just a lack of understanding. I mean, identity doesn't necessarily mean or insinuate that you know who or what it is that you are. You know what I mean? Like, just because you have some shred of an identity does not mean that you necessarily have a full understanding of who you are as an individual. Walking on this earth, just living day to day. But more often than not, though, when you're older, you tend to develop more of that stuff. But even when you're older, you're still there's still things like coming in and out of your life that are entering and appearing and then leaving and exiting that influence and add or subtract to who you are as an individual. With Joe Bartolozzi, from what I understand, he's a somewhat recent college graduate. He graduated within I think he graduated like last year or around last year. So he's around, I think, 24-ish maybe. Like, cause we assume that he went to college straight after high school, which I think he did. He would have been 22 at the time of his graduation, and then add a year to that, he's around 23, 24-ish. So I think it's perfectly normal for him to not have an understanding of who he is. I really don't have an understanding of who I am either, and I'm younger. I'm way younger than this guy. But that's not to call him like an unk or anything. I'm just relaying like some facts. But the reality is that you really won't know who you are oftentimes until you are much later in life, or you really experience some life-changing, life-altering events. You know what I mean? But that's not a whole lot of people get those. It has to be pretty monumentous stuff, things that carry a lot of gravitas to them, like losing a loved one really early in life, or witnessing a really like horrific event, or just shocking or very emotional event. You know what I mean? Like, I think those kind of help develop who you, like, those kind of quickly develop you as a person, more often than those who haven't experienced things like that. And so, and again, that's not to say that there's a cutoff, like, oh, because like my mom died when I was 5, I'm suddenly this enlightened individual. I am suddenly Buddha. No, I'm just trying to insinuate that they tend to experience more. It's a skip almost. It's like skipping a scene in a movie. Like, things get fast forwarded. There's a lot of developmental stuff that normally you would encounter on way later in life, but some individuals and some sort of very like exceptions end up experiencing just earlier on, and that just propels them to grow more as a person just much sooner than expected. With regards to Joe and myself, in a way, I think to a degree we're both young individuals, so it makes sense that you wouldn't really have an identity or really a vision of who you are, or a definition for who you are. I think that's all to be expected. I'm gonna let the video continue here.
Is that I'm a thinking thing, and that's such a stupid philosophical saying that people are gonna kind of repeat into the fucking dirt. It's beating a dead horse. But I truly cannot recognize myself in a mirror at times.
That I wanted to get to that part because I know he said that part. Yeah, I can really relate to something like this. It's less that I have a hard time recognizing myself in a mirror sometimes, but it's less of like who am I, and it's more of a like, what am I going to become? You know what I mean? Because I'm at a place where I'm trying to make big changes and differences in a lot of different areas of my life, because my whole thing is that I want to do this. I want to do streaming and content creation for the foreseeable future, as a career, as my way of living, or as my way to make a living. But at the same time, when I look in the mirror, I also see all the things that I'm not, and in some ways I resent that. Like, I just see those parts of, like, I see the things that I want to become in the mirror, and the reality is that I'm not those things. It's this weird sort of simultaneous, like, vision that I see, where I see all the things that I'd rather want to be, but that I simply am not. And I think that's probably pretty unhealthy, but I think that stems from probably a low lack of self-esteem with myself. Regardless, I can imagine a lot of people, if they were to actually like look at themselves and think, who am I? They would oftentimes feel like they are unrecognizable, especially with someone like Joe, where he's sort of, how do I put this? When you're like a streamer or an entertainer, like a comedian or like an actor, celebrity, model, stuff like that. A lot of maybe less like the model part, but let's just look at like the whole like content creator, like big time content creator, like celebrity, actor, comedian, maybe music artist, stuff like that. I think a lot of the times those individuals suffer from a lack of sense of self oftentimes, or sometimes they'll experience a lack of self sense because they're in an inherent position where everything they provide is for the entertainment of others. They are portraying themselves or a facet of themselves, and only that facet to people. But when you devote time to only showing a part of yourself, or only showing this portrayal of yourself for such a long period of time, you could start to lose sight of who you were or who you really are, because you're so invested into showcasing what's on camera or what's being recorded, whether it's on a microphone or if it's on video or film or whatever. You're so invested into showing only parts of you, or a single part, or even just a portrayal, a facade. And that's not to say he's showing a facade. When I talk about facade, I'm thinking more of the actor kind of celebrity piece, that a lot of people might start to lose sight of who they really are, or have a hard time after a while figuring out who they are. Now, I don't know if he suffers from that exactly, just because I think he's been streaming since he was in maybe not streaming. I think he was streaming since maybe like high school, but from what I understand, really college. But he's been doing content creation as a whole ever since high school. Streaming could have been only like a college thing, but regardless, I don't know if he suffers from a lack of identity because of his profession. Not a lack of identity, but a hard time just like determining who he is from based on his profession, or if it's just really like a whole like developmental thing. I would lean towards the more developmental route, but that could just be me.
Not necessarily because I'm dissociating every time I look at myself, but when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just a body. I'm just somebody that thinks. I'm a thing that thinks, and that's all I am. My name, you know me watching this video as Joe Bartolozzi, right? I don't know what your name is watching this, because there's probably a few thousand, 10,000 people watching this. I don't know who the fuck you are. And if I were to ask,
we could bump it up a little higher than a few thousands, but sure, a few 100,000 maybe. But yeah.
You that, you would answer with the prompts that I already said in the beginning of the video. You wouldn't actually be able to tell me who you are. I can't even tell you who I am, because on a genuinely deep level, the inner you, past the inner monologue, past the person that you show to the other people, is so distorted and rare to see that you never even get to meet and understand that version of yourself. I have no idea if that makes sense. The way I'm going to try and explain this a little bit.
I actually really want to pick apart what he said for just a minute. I think especially when you look at like trying to determine who you are, like who really is like you, when you're like looking at yourself just in a mirror, just pondering to yourself, who am I? Especially in the modern age, I think that's a lot harder to do. There was a lack of like severe intellectual and like philosophical kind of development in like in ancient times and like way before, you know what I mean? But once that ball sort of started rolling, once people started thinking about that kind of stuff and asking deeper questions, I think that's where the complexity of it really began. And then just as people innovated and society has changed and improved and grown over time, I think determining who you are is a lot more complex, because our definition of who you are is more complex now than it was like 10,000 years ago, you know? Like, back in, like, I don't fucking know, fucking 100 AD or BC or whatever the hell, like, if somebody probably asked you who you are, you'd still probably give your name and you'd be like, oh, I'm a farmer. And that's all you really were, because, like, you would just you would just dumb yourself down to maybe your profession or just what you do on a daily basis. And people still do that now, but that our definition of who you are far exceeds that now. So back then, that was probably an ample enough answer, but now there's far more complexity to that question, which I think, again, makes the answer a lot more complex and difficult to really give. Because I think nowadays trying to figure out who you are is like trying to get to know a ghost. Like, it's trying to catch smoke that there's nothing really tangible there, because who you are is a combination of so many things that really serve to make you simultaneously unique and the same as so many other people, which there's a beauty in that.
Better is by using a Japanese saying that you may have heard in school in a literature class or something.
Never
of those
heard
sorts.
this before.
The first face you show is to the world. You have three faces, right? The first face you show is to the world in everyday life, right? The people that you meet in school, the people that you see at work, the people you see in sports or at a bar or just walking by on the street. The second face you show to your close friends and your family. And the third face, the truest reflection of yourself, you never show to anybody but yourself. But even then, right, I'll agree with that saying, the three-face theory. But even then, the one that you show to yourself is so rare to see. It's so deep, and you can't even bring it out to yourself to recognize it. I have no idea if this will be relatable. This might be the dumbest fucking yap I have ever had in my entire life. But there are times where I'm just sitting there and it's this weird realization. It's it's like a disassociation. Once I dissociate, that's me. Once I sit there and I forget who I am, and I've removed all of these physical attributes of myself. I forget my name. I look at myself. When I don't recognize myself in the mirror, that's me. The thing that is just thinking. I'm just a being that exists within a body.
I'm not necessarily certain I would agree with that definition. I think there's more to, I think, like I was saying, I think nowadays there is more to being you than just being an organism that thinks. There's a lot of things that think, you know what I mean? But to simplify it and really understand it as best you can, I guess that would be maybe the only way for a lot of people to really determine that. But I think there is objectively more to you than just the fact that you're thinking and that you're pondering and you're constantly just the gears are constantly turning in your head, you know what I mean? There's like everything you've not only experienced, but everything that you will encounter essentially will make you who you are. Like, I guess you could kind of looking at it as your sense of self transcends time to a degree, because it is the culmination of things yet to be and that already have been.
That has a finite.
I gotta get water really quickly. I'm parched. And now I'm back. Look at that. Look at that. Oh boy. That's not good. Alright, cool. We're good. Alright, bet. Cancel that. Bet. Okay, cool. We can see both those now. Had to make sure everything was looking good.
Amount of time on this planet, and then I'll die, right? And I don't want to say it's that simple, but when you sit there and you can remove everything
This dude
about
has a
yourself,
very prominent
that
forehead, man.
is you.
I must say.
And you can really get into
Shit.
like
Make that 3. I mean, holy, we got the 1, and we got like 2 and 3, and that could be a 4th right there.
nirvana and the removal of self, and you can really like delve deep
Very
into
chiseled job.
certain religious beliefs or philosophical beliefs that people strive to remove all of these, materialistic things from themselves. And I genuinely believe that is you. When you grow up, and you're born and you're given a name, a lot of people say your name doesn't define you, and that's true, but all of the things that you experience in your life, all of these environmental factors that play a role in making you that you have no control over, shape the you that you are. Me being named Joe has changed my personality in ways that I can't understand because I've only been ever known as Joe. And I have to go every day in my life self-identifying.
I don't think I'm smart enough to really speak on that. The understanding of what he is talking about with that specific thing has completely flown over my head. Is the difference college education and high school education makes, folks. Holy guacamole. But I guess to his point, I think to a degree, I think your name has affected your personality in way. He did just say in ways that he doesn't even know, like ways he can't even speak on. So, and it's really just because you can't even know like how your name has like changed how you have behaved and how your personality has been influenced. To a degree, I can kind of determine that. I think I think your name is associated with some memories of you, like, and that's kind of a dedoy because it's like, you know what I mean? It's your name, but like I think of like, oh, when people like compare like names, or like, oh, this name is kind of cool, or this name is like kind of douchey, you know what I mean? Like I think of stuff like that. So to some degree that might affect your personality. Yeah, and being just going through life responding to that specific name might have a sway on how you developed as a person. But granted, I don't see how it really could. Like, I can't really like define for you or give you an example that I could think of. So I'll let him take that part over.
Myself
I'll shut the fuck up.
Joe. That's why stereotypically people always say, oh, Joe's will act this way, Derek's will act this way, Brandon's will act this way. And while all those things may not be true,
I gotta pause again. I'm sorry. I've never really heard that ever before, so I don't really know what exactly he's talking about. Also, I gotta check OBS really quickly and make sure I'm recording. I am recording. Okay, cool.
Being given a name that has a stereotype or a certain ideology or thing
that's kind of happened to me, but not really. Like, my name is Jackson, by the way. Just in case you weren't able to decipher that from my Twitch name or anything like that. But yeah, or just any of my social handles. But yeah, I don't really think anyone's been like to me specifically been like, oh yeah, that was a very Jackson thing to do. That isn't, no. Like I don't think I've ever encountered a scenario like that where I've been like, oh, this person's name is associated with them acting this way. You know what I mean? I've been told that my name is a pretty like douchey name, like it's kind of like a douchebag name, which to some degree I guess I could kind of see. But also I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot more people have Jackson as a last name, or at least a lot of people who are known have Jackson as a last name than a first name. You know what I mean? There were a handful of Jacksons who went to my high school. But like, any time I think you think of a person who's super important who has Jackson in their name, it's like their last name. You know what I mean? And that really has nothing to do at all with the video or what we're talking about. But I just wanted to comment on that.
Attached to it will change you as an individual. Like, I don't want to say name when you have a kid, your kid's name matters, because at the end of the day, name your kid whatever the fuck you want to name your kid. But
to a degree, it matters, folks. I don't think you should be out here naming your kid like some shit that could get them severely bullied. All right, like we do have to consider a couple of things. You know what I mean? Megatron is a pretty tough ass name, though. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody named their kid that and I met that kid, I'd want to be friends with that kid if I was like in preschool and shit, and I met a kid named Megatron. That'd be pretty fire. I'd be like, holy shit, I gotta get to know this motherfucking person. Holy goddamn, like
it does.
Fucking leader of the Decepticons going to my preschool. Holy shit.
Because if you name your kid something that will have a genuinely negative impact on them, like Karen, like if you name your kid Karen, I'm not going to say your kid's going to turn out to be a Karen, but they might be more likely to turn out.
Dick. Don't ever name your kid Dick, or like something that could be like give your kid the nickname Dick. That's a terrible thing to do. Horrible thing to do. Yeah, granted, I only know one, it's not even a person, it's a character. It's Dick Grayson from the Batman comics, from DC Comics, that his character. That's the only Dick I've ever a person who is named Dick, or like their nickname is Dick, because I think his name is actually Richard Grayson, but like an old nickname for Richard was like Dick, and so they just that just stuck. I always think to the line in the Lego Batman movie, my name is Richard Grayson, but the kids at the orphanage always call me Dick. Well, children can be cruel. And then, because they're just walking and talking, and he says that to him, and I was like, and to be honest with you, that joke flew over my head the first time. But the second time, I was like, yeah, no, he right, though. Like, shit like that would, get your kid to get probably bullied a little bit. At the very least. Your kid would definitely get made fun of. I got made fun of for my last name. And it wasn't anything serious or anything I took to heart. It was kind of annoying and corny, because it was just some really low-hanging fruit. But regardless, I just kind of was just like, it's whatever, because it just wasn't really objectively that hilarious. But I'm sure if somebody had a specific first name or last name that could that a kid with enough wit and animosity encountered, he could probably make their life very cruel.
As a Karen. That's not the main point. That's not the main point of this video. Might be more likely to turn out
that
as
was
a
a
Karen.
hard edit right there.
That's not the main point. That's not the main Karen. But they might be more likely to turn out as a Karen. That's not the main point.
I like how it just cuts to him just like, that's not the main point of the video.
That's not the main point of this video. That was just me rambling now. Obviously, if you want to name your kid fucking Karen, name your kid Karen. Nobody names their kid Karen anymore. But back to my point. More realistically, that was a stupid point. Sorry. Where you're born, right, is a better example. If you're born in fucking Utah, right, the you that is born in Utah is going to be such a different you than if you were born in New York.
Yeah, that's a better example. So, yeah, because location and just I don't know if you would call it what would you fucking call that? Would you just call that geography or some shit? The science of place and space. Professional term for location. Yeah, your region, I guess the place you grow up or the location you grow up, I think does affect more deeply than your development than your name, because you have to think your location, or like depending on where you grow up, what place, what environment, that is vastly going to alter you compared to a name. If you grow up, yeah, like you said, if you were to grow up in Utah, like high chances are you could be, unless your family like is like maybe moved to Utah when you were born or something, you might end up encountering a lot of Mormons. Like they got a lot of those in Utah. Little weird, but either here nor there. I love you if you're Mormon, but y'all can be a little weird sometimes. We have to admit this. But compared to New York, it is such a bigger population, but there's also just a multitude of other cultures there. You have cultures within neighborhoods, so you have like these sort of microcosms with their own subcultures within these like larger spaces, you know what I mean? So there's just more that you're going to experience depending on what place you live. Like if you were born in Alaska, you're going to be a really different person than if you were born in fucking Miami or fucking Hong Kong. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be a way different you if we're looking at all the fucking hypothetical multiversal yous that are out there. You know what I mean? There could be there was a you that grew up in Hong Kong. You're able to speak a whole nother language, probably, like more than likely. Maybe not. Maybe you could like get away with just learning having the one language, but like you'll probably be bilingual. Like, you know what I mean? So if you grow up in just a nation other than the U.S., more than likely you're going to know or end up knowing multiple languages. So that's another thing to consider, and I think it's really just a fact if you really think about it. But yeah, and also aside from just like basic developmental stuff like learning multiple languages and stuff like that, you're just going to experience vastly different things. Like say there were two kids born from a family and one of them lived in like Texas, like Austin, Texas their entire life, and then another one lived in like Australia. They're going to be vastly different people. They're going to be experiencing different like school systems, entirely different people who are also influenced by the culture they're being surrounded by. They're going to experience completely different events and shit like that. Their whole sense of their interests are probably going to be a lot greater, and then the things they value and stuff like that are also going to be a lot greater because of that. Like if you grow up in Australia, you're probably going to appreciate wildlife and shit like that, and really like, and maybe you have like a deeper fear of like forest fires and stuff like that, because Australia goes through a lot of drought and shit, and they've had some pretty devastating fires in the past, like wildfires in the past. Then if you're in Texas, you know what I mean? Both of you are going to be like, there's a similarity to be drawn. Both of you are going to be like, yeah, we grew up in really hot fucking areas, you know what I mean? Like shit was like scorching over here, because you're in Texas, you're in the South, you know what I mean? And then you're in Australia. That's like aside from Antarctica, that is the southernmost continent, I believe. So, things to consider.
Or Florida, or hell, a different country. If you're born in Vietnam, Japan, Australia.
Exactly.
Where you grew up, literally the town, the city you grew up, the school you went to, all of these things that you have no control over change the physical you that walks this earth every day. But the you that you really are, I keep saying the word you, the you that you really are, is no one. And
imagine if he's doing this with his legs crossed.
A being
like imagine
that is
if he's hitting the Little Mermaid pose right now. I saw him reveal that he did that one time. Can you imagine if he's hitting this? Why did it bring it the live action version? What the fuck? Can you imagine if he's hitting this? I wouldn't be surprised if he is hitting that, considering the way his body is kind of ignore that. And considering the way his body's kind of like his body's oriented like a little bit like here. Yeah, no, that is like a little bit here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's or like this right here where he's hitting the fucking the goddamn 45-degree fucking acute triangle angle with the knee. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's hitting that, John.
Capable of thinking and has a physical
Brody's probably hitting
impact
yoga poses right now.
in this materialistic world. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all you are, and that's all I am, right? And some people say that that's upsetting. And obviously, feel free to disagree with me. You can explain why in the comments. But I feel like that it makes...
There were a lot of comments in this video. I'd never be really looking for... I've only commented on, like, videos, like, 2 or 3 times. There are motherfuckers who are dedicated to that shit, bro. Like, they live in the comment section. It's corny as fuck, but I've only commented like once or twice for a video, and it's just because it was some nerdy shit that I was passionate about, which I guess is also kind of corny, little lame, but to some people, to me, I mean, I just look at it as that I'm talking passionately about something that I enjoy, but to others it might just be like, you're actually doing too fucking much, holy cornball, like.
Makes me feel closer to the universe, knowing that all that I am is nothing. And that's such a weird thing to say, but it's true. When I have this self, mindset of I'm Joe Bartolozzi, I have to uphold these values of my own self, all these other things, it makes you feel detached, not from reality. It makes you more ingrained in the physical reality, but it makes you more detached from everybody and everything around you. If you're able to just be fluid and live your life as an open being that is just absorbing input and then outputting information back, then life becomes so much easier. But that
I'm sorry, I wasn't really paying
I'm Joe
attention to
Bartolozzi.
that. I apologize. I was focusing on my stream, which nobody is tuned into, by the way. Tragedy.
I have to uphold.
But I like my eyes like glazed over. It was like some shit from like Harry Potter or something. I became like brain dead. It was like that one scene in Get Out. I was like, yeah.
These mindset of I'm Joe Bartolozzi, I have to uphold these values of my own self.
We gotta go for the back.
Knowing that all that I am is nothing. And that's such a weird thing to say, but it's true. When I have this self, mindset of I'm Joe Bartolozzi, I have to uphold these values of my own self, all these other things, it makes you feel detached, not from reality. It makes you more ingrained in the physical reality, but it makes you more detached from everybody and everything around you. If you're able to just be fluid and live your life as an open being that is just absorbing input and then...
Yeah, it's breaking it. Essentially, what he's saying is just breaking it down to a more simple state of cognizance. You know what I mean? Maybe not cognizance is the right word for that, but it's just trying. It basically is just taking things and thinking about them more simply. So it's like the phrase sometimes less is more. So when you think about things a lot in a more simplistic manner, things become far less complicated and you become far more interconnected with those around you, or at least that's what he's speaking to, like for him personally, which to a degree, I would agree with. Like, I think when you consider and ponder and get lost in the intricacies of it all, you lose sight of the stuff that tends to really matter, or you just tend to overshadow or be concentrated on in one area or aspect, when life is in reality this vast colorful canvas. There is no one color or two colors that you can really just focus on and choose to pick apart. You have to experience the joy of it all at once, because that's just how life comes at you. You know what I mean? Or how you should at least encounter life. And that's where thinking and living simplistically, not necessarily living simplistically, like you could live however you want to live, you know what I mean? But like, what I mean by living and thinking simplistically is thinking not in a manner of, oh, I must do this and this and act this and this way in order to be who I am. No, just like, it's literally just like, oh, I'm just going to do this and this and this today. Like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to like if I'm putting myself in the shoes of Mr. Joe Bartolozzi here, all I'm saying is like, oh, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be Joe. Like, I'm just going to get up. I'm going to stream today. I'm just going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I'm going to give my passionate thoughts about it, and then I'm going to end stream at some point, and then maybe hit a workout. He's swole. Apparently he works out. You know what I mean? I used to work out. I injured my back. Now I can't. Not forever. I'm not like paralyzed or anything, but like just for the time being. It breaks my heart. Okay, completely destroyed any semblance of a routine I had after graduating high school. Okay, shit is not good. But regardless, that was a whole side tangent. Ignore that shit. Fucking woe is me. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Yeah, my bad. But with regards to what he's saying, yeah, when you just look at things more simplistically, when you just are like, oh, let me just not get lost in the sauce really quickly. Let me just think about it like this. Let me just be like, oh, I'm gonna just think about life in this manner, or I'm just gonna do this, and this thing. Then it becomes a lot easier. You know what I mean? Like instead of being like, oh, let's say you have an errand to run. Instead of saying like, oh, I have to drive to this store and then this store. I have to drive to Target, then Walmart, then Fred Meyer, then Costco. You know what I mean? Like, and I have to get my list from all of these places. You can just be like, oh, well, let me just try and go to one store and find all the items I need from that one store. And then if I don't find all the items I need, that's when I go to a second store, or maybe I just call it a day and go to just one other store the next day. You know what I mean? Just breaking things down like a lot more can increase enjoyability and understanding in life. You can actually understand and genuinely swallow all of it. Like it's like if you think about it too complicated or in a too much of a complicated manner, all that's going to happen is you're going to take a bigger bite than you're able to actually consume. But when you think about it simplistically, when you break it down a lot, it's a smaller bite that you can actually enjoy and you can actually savor. That was a long-winded explanation. I apologize.
Back.
Enjoy.
Then life becomes so much easier. But that you rarely see, right? You're never really going to interact with that version of you because there's never going to be a back and forth conversation the way you have it in your own brain, right? It's just going to be this weird feeling of like, ooh, who am I, right? It's like a disassociation.
That moment just hits you. It just encounters you, and then it washes over you, and then the moment fades away like a wave.
On the daily basis is the you that you have, an effect over. And I think that you on a genuine level matters more because that's the you that you're going to see basically 99% of your life. But even that you is not concrete. That you changes on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, on a decade basis. If you were to ask your parents if they were able to...
kind of like what I was saying at the start, you're constantly growing and changing and evolving as a person over time. And I also said this, who you are when you really look at it is like your sense of self is something that transcends time. It is the culmination of all that has happened to you and all that is going to happen to you and all that is happening to you currently. It is this thing that takes place across the entire span of your life.
To relate to the 20-year-old version of themselves, they would likely scoff at you and say no fucking shot. Now there are some people that would say, yeah, I'm the same exact person I was 20 years ago. To that I would say that motherfucker hasn't had any self-growth whatsoever because the self-growing process never fucking changes. And that's not a diss. I'm just saying
I think self-growth, although it is a journey and you have to be the person to actually take the steps to move forward in that journey within that journey itself. At the same time, I think a lot of people are going to grow and change in small ways oftentimes. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a completely different person than I was when I was 17 or even 16, but I'd say I would say I'm somewhat different. Like, I'd say that there definitely is some small change in that manner. I think there's definitely a lot more clarity I have. There's also a lot of clarity that I don't have because that I was under a false sense of clarity when I was 17 and 16. I was more delusional when I was 16 and 17 than I am now. I'm still somewhat delusional, but like not as much as I was then.
If you are 60 years old and you can perfectly relate to 20-year-old self, your 20-year-old self, I feel like that's an issue. Thinking of people and how they perceive you is such a weird experience, especially in the job career that I'm in, because I've been on social media since I was in high school, right? I was 17, and it was, January of 2020.
Holy shit. Okay, I'm only halfway through this video.
Is generally when I, started social media. But I never really grew a platform until, year and a half later, blah, 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 down the line. Here we are today. But if you look back at my older videos, right, on TikTok or on YouTube or even my old streams, you can see how I've changed, right? Not only in my mannerisms or how I speak, but also my thoughts, how I portray myself to my audience, because I've grown and people have witnessed that, right? From me going from, a young, naive, narcissistic teenager to now I just turned 23.
One thing that I always kind of notice when I see some of this guy's content is that he always calls himself narcissistic when he was younger, and I think to a degree a lot of people who feel shame about like their childhood or about their upbringing and stuff like that, I think they tend to sort of slander themselves or slander who they were as a person back then, which I mean, it's understandable. I've even felt like that, and I even do that to a degree. I think me as a little kid sometimes was unbearably annoying, like looking back on things and like my memories and how I interacted with some people sometimes. I think I was probably a super annoying person, and probably really cringy too. But at the same time, I also know that that's just like that was just who I was at the time. You know what I mean? Like that has nothing really to do with who I am now. Like I'm far past who I was then. You know what I mean? And it's the same for him. So to a degree, and I don't think he really. Maybe he is super hard on himself. I don't know. I only have a small lens into and glimpse into who he is as a person. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think not necessarily being hard on the past version of you is you being hard on yourself. So that's my personal opinion. So even though he does kind of like slander his former self and stuff like that, because I'm assuming he feels a lot of shame towards who he was back then, and I don't know if that's justified or not. But regardless, I could be making a quite a mighty assumption with that, but I'm going to presume that is what it is. That is where the origin of why he talks about his past self like that. But that at the same time, I don't think that is really any association in him slandering his current self. You know what I mean? But like I said, maybe he does to take things hard on himself. But I would presume that he's not. I don't think he does.
A week ago, and here I am. And it's such a weird experience because, I mean, you could relate to this on a genuine level as well. When you meet somebody in public, for me, it would be somebody that I don't know. For you, it might be somebody that you haven't seen in years. You don't know what version of you they see and what version of you they have in their own mind.
Yeah.
Right? And
this is true.
When you live your life on a day-to-day basis, think about the 1,000 people you know. Each of them has a different view.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. Your sense of self is entirely dependent on your own perspective. People's senses of you is a vastly different thing. It's like a kaleidoscope. It's like a prism. You know what I mean? It's like one singular ray of light going in that's one color and is being broken and sort of spread and sprayed into all these vastly vibrant other different colors. So other people will perceive a multitude of versions that are all different from the you that you yourself perceive. I try to be cool and use my pen to restart the video. Didn't work.
Of you as a person and as an individual. And it's such a weird experience when somebody recognizes me in public, because I have no idea what version of me they think I am. Not that I'm acting differently on different platforms or whatever, but TikTok, I'm a very exaggerated version of myself. I'm just screaming, and it's stupid fucking videos, right? But some people, that's
I don't
all
really,
they-
I don't know. I actually don't know if he has a channel that clips that stuff and puts that out. But from what I see, it tends to be other people, like other channels that are clipping his crash outs and stuff like that, and him like yelling and shit. I'm gonna time your ass out for a fucking month. Like it tends to be other people who are clipping shit like that.
they know me as. And that's all they'll ever know me
That's
as. And
so
when they
funny.
see me in public, they go, it's the angry TikTok beanie guy, right? And they don't know anything
shit.
about me. Then when somebody sees
I don't think I've ever seen Joe Bart wear a beanie. I mean, I know he has that as his PFP for Twitch, but like he doesn't have it for this one, and he's also not wearing one now. You know
me
what I mean?
on, you know, the side of the road and they're like, hey, Joe, I watch
Maybe
your
he was
YouTube
an
videos.
avid beanie
I end
wearer
up
before
knowing
this.
that while they may not know what I believe philosophically or religiously or whatever of those, you know, sorts, I, in a non-parasocial way,
Yeah,
recog-
on an unrelated note, this dude is like one radioactive accident away from becoming like Megamind or the fucking leader. If y'all don't know who the leader is, I'm gonna show you right now. Like, not he actually the. You know what's funny is that this motherfucker Loki has the same forehead vein. It's just way more exaggerated. But look at this shit. Look at this shit. Like, this dude just got hit with a little bit of gamma radiation. He might turn into this motherfucker, bro. Holy shit.
recognize that that individual knows me on a more deep level than someone that says they know me on TikTok. Because they're seeing less of me, they're seeing an older version of me. And it's so weird to think that people that I've never even had interactions with, or even had interactions with in you know, in your case, or even mine, that the version that they see of me is not the current me that exists. And it annoys me because I am very sound, not necessarily like, oh, I found the way or anything, but I'm more proud of who I am now and the growth that I've had than when I was making cringy, stupid.
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Now it's coming back to life. Okay. I still have been live. That is good. That is very good. Alright, cool. We're chilling.
TikTok videos. So when somebody sees me as that individual, or they're already all like off the ground, mad or don't like me and they think my content's stupid. Like I've had people tell me they think I need to kill myself or they want to kill me or something like that. Like
Crazy.
and it's just like, dude, you don't even know me, right? And even if, you know, you've had a bad experience with you or somebody that you don't like, right? Say you had beef with somebody in high school and now you're 26 and you see that person again. They're going to imagine you as that same individual. And I advise.
That's true. I've even done that with people. Like I had people that I had like it's gonna be a little bit different because for me because I'm just a bit younger. But like I've had people that I hadn't seen since elementary school, and then the whole COVID thing happened, and we were all like at home doing online school and shit. And so for me, I had people that I hadn't really seen since elementary school and hadn't talked to for like 1 or 2 years. And then I met them again in middle school, and I was like, oh, they're probably going to be the same person. And some of them kind of were, but there were differences. Like they had grown and shifted a little bit as people. You know what I mean?
Advise you when you go throughout your life and you see people that you haven't seen in years to not automatically assume that that person is the same dickhead Frank they were in, you know, sophomore year in high school or something like those. I'm getting really off topic here. Back to what I was saying. The different versions of me existing also make me feel a little bit better about death. The reason being... that's
a crazy leeway. We just went from your sense of self and who you like what you determine your identity as, like as a person, as you, to all the different me's that are out there that people perceive. They make me a little bit comfortable with dying. What? Like, they make me a little bit more comfortable with the idea of death. That's word. Like, power to you, brother. Like, goddamn, holy
Goes
shit.
back to, something Marcus Aurelius said. I want to do an entire video on Marcus Aurelius and meditations and, his own diaries. It's a very fascinating thing. Read the book if you haven't. I'm still fetishing it, but you basically read.
I'm assuming he's talking about that motherfucker from Gladiator. I don't even know if that dude was an actually real emperor or not. I'm pretty sure he was based on a real one. He could have had the same name. I'm thinking of like the old motherfucker at the start of Gladiator. That's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm wrong though.
The private diary of a Roman emperor thousands of years ago that never thought that anybody would see, what he wrote down today. But he basically goes into Stoicism and the idea of death, and that there only is one version of you that dies. And that is the present existent you that is dying in that moment. You're losing an individual moment. You're only losing the present. And when you start thinking about it, you end up realizing that when you end up dying, right, because at one day we will all die, or at some point we will all die. The only person that's dying...
Chat, I have to consider getting a microphone and stuff like that because I want to do a playthrough of the new Lego Batman game. Don't judge me, okay? I like Lego Batman. I like Lego in general. In case you haven't seen glimpses of my entire room and whatnot. But, yeah, no. I want to do a little playthrough of Lego Batman, but I have to rely on this microphone for that, which I think will work for the playthrough and everything like that. I've jerry-rigged my setup in the OBS and stuff like that so I can hear my audio from my console, and also you can hear me through the microphone and the console audio and stuff like that without having to use like a Chatlink Pro or anything like that. Eventually, I will have to probably do that, more than likely. And I do think getting a microphone is just the next step anyways for being just a better streamer. But right now, we're going to be rocking with the headphone only. And at least until I determine, like, oh, this audio sucks. Like, I sound fucking horrible. Like, I don't sound like someone I'd even want to listen to. So, like,
and we'll have to
I'm not trying to insinuate that I love listening to my own voice. I appall it. I'm sure, like, all y'all know, but, like, how you yourself sound versus how you sound to other people is always vastly different because the way, like, your vocal cords and sound resonates from your vocal cords to your ears, things, like, sound way deeper. Like, my voice sounds way deeper to me than it actually is to any of you. And by any of you, I mean the grand total of numero uno people that are in my stream. That shit wasn't funny, but I'm allocated these moments of unfunniness because nobody watches my streams. Apart from myself, because I low-key have to just monitor them just in case somebody does hop in. But yeah.
Death is the exact person that is dying in that moment, that version of you. The version of me that's speaking right now, the one that you're watching, is already dead. Obviously, I hope the physical Joe Bartolozzi is still alive by the time this is uploaded, but the version of me that is recording this will no...
His voice became so airy.
Time this is uploaded, but... The version of me that is recording this will no longer exist. I will cease to exist 10 minutes after I'm done recording this video. Now, obviously, the me that exists 10 minutes from now...
You see, this is where I start to believe that one might be overanalyzing things to a degree. like, I think we're pulling and ripping at things a little bit more than they need to be. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean... I would agree with him to a degree, but like, I'm not so concerned and analytical of who I am that I'm like, oh, yeah, the person I was 30 seconds ago, they're gone. They're dead now. They're never going to be seen again. Their history in the world is over with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really of that mindset, but apparently he might be.
Identical to the me that is existent right now. But 10 days, 10 years down the line, I look back at this, right, and I'll watch this video, and I won't relate to this me at all. I might agree with some of the things that I'm foundationally saying.
Hey, at least,
but
hey, all right, I'll shut the fuck up. He called himself out on that. My bad. I'll let bro cook a little bit.
I will look back at this, and I won't even recognize myself. Similarly,
this is only like my
second. When I watch my own
this is only like my second reaction video, so I'm not particularly good at this. I don't really need to justify myself to anybody because nobody's watching me. But I'll probably edit this down to some short form content. So you know what I mean.
Own videos, my old videos, I've watched cringy old videos of myself that I've made, 4 years ago, and it's such a weird experience. You guys may relate to this when you have like a memory pop up from your camera roll from 2020 or something, and you see yourself and you entirely forgot about that memory, and you're like, wow.
Yes, I
me.
actually have.
But it's not.
This happened to me
right?
before.
The only you that exists is the present you. The past you is dead, and the future you doesn't exist. The only you that will ever experience death is the present you at the moment that you die. Boom. While I do believe the true self...
Boom. Mic drop. That's all, folks. Fuck y'all. See you later. Like, what?
Is nothingness and just a thinking thing, and that's all I think we all are.
Nah, he that was his fucking I'm cooking, like
present you at the moment that you die. Boom. While I do believe the true self is nothingness and just a thinking thing, and that's all I think we all are. The physical you that exists and the me that is talking right now still is a part of me, right? I don't want to entirely discredit that self because that is the me that's going to live the majority of my life. But when I'm nearing death, right, I think that other me will start to show its own face. I think that other me that is more connected to the universe, but less attached to my physical self will exist in that moment. I don't know if that makes sense. It's really hard to convey like philosophical thoughts that I experience in my own mind to words that are understandable, because a lot of
verbalizing a lot, even I even have this problem. But granted, I'm talking to myself right now pretty much, so I've not to sound like a fucking loser or anything, but I mean, to a degree I kind of am, but I've entertained a lot of conversations with just myself out loud. Should I be telling this on the internet? I don't know, but I'm just going to keep going. But yeah, no, I've entertained a lot of conversations with myself in the past, as I am now currently. But with articulate, there are even times where I am talking to myself and I'm trying to verbalize my own thoughts, to articulate that and just speak it out into the world, where I do struggle to do that sometimes. And I think I have a lot of admiration for like public speakers and like really good public speakers and like people who constantly give speeches and stuff like that, because it is somewhat of an art, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say it's like dancing or like actually painting on like a fucking mural or anything like that, and it's nothing like crazy, but to a degree it takes a lot of skill and a lot of time to practice and to really get comfortable with, and I think it definitely does speak to, I think depending on how well you're able to verbalize your thoughts and stuff like that, it does speak to your intelligence. But granted, there is somewhat of there is a difference between being a good public speaker and just being able to verbalize your thoughts like really well. Because like public speaking is just like you're good at talking in front of others. You could still be good at talking in front of others and really be like not a very intellectual individual. But if you're good at verbalizing your thoughts, a lot of the time it's because you're pretty good. You're a pretty intellectual person. You're a very thoughtful individual, and not necessarily in the sense of compassion or consideration, but like more so like you're pondering what it is that you're actually thinking about to a very meticulous degree. And I definitely would say Joe Bart is one of those people. Like I think he can articulate probably like 99% of his thoughts pretty well. I'd say a little bit about that with myself. That was a horrible stutter. We're gonna ignore that. I'd say that just for a little bit for myself personally, but I don't like being I don't like claiming a lot of shit like that because I feel like it makes me seem pretentious, and I don't really like feeling like that or portraying myself in that manner. But yeah, but I would definitely say that Joe Bart is a very articulate person, verbally speaking, and like he talks with his hands and stuff like that.
Is feeling based, and it's hard to convey emotions in words. I ask myself this all the time. This is the last thing I'll say. I ask myself all the time why people watch me. And I understand that I'm funny in certain aspects. I think I'm good at riffing. I'm reactively funny. I think I can watch something and make a joke about it that a lot of people may find funny, a lot of people may not. But it's so I never even knew that there was an audience that wanted to see me talk about this, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like. I feel like I have a wound or a serious. What's the word I'm looking for? Holy shit. It's not wound. I'm trying to look for a different word to describe it. I guess it might be insecurity, but it's not like an insecurity I would like lash out against anybody for. But it's like a personal insecurity, and it's the fact that I sometimes I question my own comedic sense. Like all the short form videos that I've posted have been comedic for the most part, apart from like 2 videos on my TikTok, which only got like 150 or so views. But nobody saw them bitches. Maybe like 10 people watched those fully. But I do question my own comedic sense because I question if it's actually myself. I don't think I myself am funny. I think the things that I think about and how I can create content can come across as funny, but and I can act funny sometimes, but I don't think I myself am funny, or at least I feel like those thoughts creep up on me, and that makes me feel less than. Like I feel really like I'm not a complete person in that manner. And to some degree, that's why I call it a personal insecurity, because I'm like, I want to be funny, but I just don't think I am funny sometimes. And it's like a serious, like, sometimes I truly believe like, oh, I'm not like funny at all. Like right now, I don't think half the jokes that I have made streaming / recording this thus far have been very comedic. I have to only hope and pray that some people will laugh at those. I think a part of it is making yourself laugh though. But granted, I just don't think I don't think I'm confident or complete, or my identity is really like matured enough to where I can feel comfortable doing that. I think as time goes on and I experience more life and stuff like that, I will come to grow into that comfortability of like just speaking what's on my mind and just saying funny shit more. I think I can be funny with my mom sometimes, but I do really think it has to do with a lack of me being comfortable and really being secure with myself in regards to that. Speaking on to what he said specifically, how he's he has a very reactive sense of humor. I would somewhat agree with that. But I think like a reactive like sense of humor and like comedic ability is good. Like I think and I mean it makes sense for who he is. He's a very like articulate and verbal person. You know what I mean? He's able to really express how and explain how he feels about a lot of like philosophical ideas. And so it would kind of make sense that he creates comedic responses and humorous responses based off of what he's experiencing and seeing at that moment. He's able to just quickly do that. That's just called wit, you know what I mean? But I question my own wit and really my own comedic ability oftentimes. And there could be just a lack thereof. Like there could be like nothing there. You know what I mean? Who's to say? But I must only pray and hope that there is some semblance of something there.
Know how well this video will do. I don't really give a shit, right? Because this is more for me and the people that want to see.
again, speaking to that whole sense of security and confidence piece, he is more confident as a person than I am. Like, I would worry over that. But granted, I think he's also at a point where he doesn't really worry about that anymore, because he also has like a pretty dedicated, like a solid dedicated audience for himself. I don't have that at all. Like, I have straws. I got basically a handful of sand compared to the cement block that he has.
If it gets 5 views, I don't
But
know.
hey, don't diss the sand. We all start somewhere, you know what I mean? And this is just where I'm starting, you know?
Shit, right? This is just a rant that I wanted to, do for you guys. But I don't know how to describe it. When I upload these videos and they get views, I'm like fucking astonished that there's even this amount of people that have the same struggles with me. It makes me feel better.
I think it speaks to authenticity. I think people crave authenticity more than anything. I think it's authenticity and entertainment, and sometimes those can be interwoven. But the main thing is that if you're not being entertaining, which is just making people laugh or making people like feel excited or yada yada yada, they want something that feels real. And I think Joe Bart is just a very real person. Like, I think he goes through a lot of shit that people themselves go through, and he also is able to like articulate and actually speak on what is on his mind, what he's thinking about, that a lot of others also are afflicted by, but they can't, or really lack the ability to speak it in the manner that he can, which he is able to do. He's able to kind of fill that void for people. So when you're making content, you're always offering something up, whether you know it or not. It's whether it's authenticity, whether it's entertainment, whether it's education, you know what I mean? And it could just be, the education could just be as simple as, oh, I didn't know how to speak what I was thinking, or really that was what I was thinking, until he said it out loud for me.
It makes me feel better that I'm not the only one that is struggling with self-identity, struggling with a day-to-day basis,
a lot of people
recognizing the me that exists and the me
natural,
that I have to
natural,
put forth to
perfectly
people. And I think I've gotten better at it over the years. A lot of people say that I've obviously grown, and they've seen that themselves watching me over the last few years, and I'm glad about that. But it's a never-ending struggle. You will never figure out the definitive you. You'll be at peace knowing that the you that exists will forever change, and knowing that the you that exists will never be fully known. Wow. There it is.
I cooked. I mean, fucking pan, oil, fire. Call me a chef. Goddamn.
Okay, that was really fucking hard to say. But, I mean, I think this rant...
I think he had been really saying it this whole time, but I think for him, he didn't really understand it until he said that specifically just now.
Went over what I wanted it to. I'll probably get into more philosophical terms in some future videos. I have like 10, 20 rants that I wanted to do.
I wish I could get posted up like him. Like, he's very like this, close to the camera. Because of I mentioned a back injury earlier. Because of my back, I have to lean. I have to lean a little bit, like further back, because otherwise the pain will start to flare up. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're in the weight room, never round your lower back. It only leads to disaster. Always make sure that your form is peak. I don't care how much weight you lift. Don't worry about impressing other people, or even about impressing yourself. All you got to worry about is making sure that you're putting in good effort, but first and foremost that you're ensuring that you're not putting any part of yourself at risk of injury. If something feels very uncomfortable while you're doing it, like uncomfortable in terms of mobility and stuff like that, probably don't do it. Or find an alternative, oftentimes, until you can gain the mobility for the thing that you're looking to do. And sometimes it's like a weight thing. Maybe you go up in weight and you're not ready to go up in weight. At that point, you have to try and be as attuned as with your body as you can be. Try and really listen and feel certain things on an instinctual level. What the fuck are you, Jackson? What the fuck are you talking about? Instinct, or what is that? You'll know it when you feel it. Like the moment the thought will just spark in you, and you'll be like, oh, I should probably not do this. These 3 plates that I'm loading up onto the bar, even though I've only really repped like 1 plate for like 20 or 15 reps, probably not a good idea. That's more so common sense than anything, but yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like what you're doing is not a good idea, just probably don't do it. Best advice I
I
could give
started
to you.
typing random stuff. This was just one I wanted to record before I started streaming one random day. But if you have any videos that you want me to, make or ramble about specific topics, whatever they may be philosophically, comment down below. Outside of that, appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a, easier time understanding who you are, and I will fucking catch you guys in the next one.
W outro. I gotta get a cool outro like that if I ever start making YouTube videos. Da 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 da. Okay, we're not going to react to anything anymore today because I low-key yapped that entire video. Instead, we are going to play a little bit of Rivals because I'm trying to get back into Rivals. We're gonna do a little bit of that, which means that I also have to change the stream. I guess I can just do that online. I have a little laptop / tablet right here. Okay. YouTube Studio is probably the worst thing I've ever encountered in my entire life. We're still... Okay. Yeah, it says it's not connected, even though it very much is connected. Hot damn. Can't make this shit up. Goddamn, I was close to the camera at the start of the stream. Oh, we gotta edit this. Gaming. Perfection. Exit that. Hopefully y'all will stick with me, and by y'all I mean me, so there is that. Just need time. I don't want to. Where are you? Still in my heart. I don't need more. Need you anymore. Mm. Yeah, it says I'm not connected, but I am connected, so I don't know. Anywho. Mm. We'll worry about it another time. Until then, we're gonna just put this back down on the ground and keep streaming. This is good though, because it gives our chance for the. Actually, I still haven't opened up Rivals, so this did not give a chance for the shaders to load. Unfortunately, fuck me. Holy shit, this game is atrociously optimized. Also, apparently, I've been seeing just on like YouTube and TikTok and shit that it's been plagued by cheaters for a hot minute. So something to look forward to. Holy shit. And how many last songs are left? I'm losing count. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
He also says anger is just as much a sign of weakness as suffering.
I just watched a Joe Bart video, and now I'm watching a Joe Bart YouTube short. Don't judge me for watching YouTube shorts. Everybody already does it. It's annoying.
Because both an angry man and a man in pain have surrendered to a wound they've incurred. That's my favorite quote from the entire movie.
Yo, if I could, at some point in the future, collab with any creator, and I feel I can say this because I have basically no viewers right now. If I were to somehow collab with any creator, this is essentially just a message to myself. I would love to collab with one Moist Critical, because that dude is just super cool and like an awesome streamer and just content creator. Tony Sadavici, that's more of a personal one. I love his videos. I actually got introduced to his videos more so through his streaming and through his YouTube channel than actually through his TikTok, even though his TikToks are also really good. But I found his TikToks after I actually watched some of his videos and just streaming and stuff like that. So he's also a really good streamer and just content creator in general. I feel like Joe Bart would also be a cool one. As much as I don't watch Joe Bart, from what I've seen of him, he seems like a pretty cool dude. So if I ever get like really as a channel, if I ever get really big, and I get to their sort of their par, I'd love to collab with them. And then those are my top three, and I can't really think of others. Oh, Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye is the person who like started this whole dream for me. First YouTube video I think I ever remember watching was from Jacksepticeye. I mean, holy shit, he changed my life. I absolutely adore that dude. He's the one who sparked this dream for me. Like, and it's just kind of been burning ever since. And I'm only really acknowledging it now, and I have to continue to acknowledge it every day. You know, that's a thing I have to work on and constantly work towards. But that's another big one. And then like maybe like Markiplier. I think maybe Markiplier, because I definitely want to know how to start making a film because I've had my own kind of film ideas before, or just like ideas on collaborating for a film. But I definitely want to know that aspect because he's sort of pioneering that in a sense where he is this content creator, but he's also a filmmaker now. And granted, he kind of was a filmmaker. Like he was making YouTube films and stuff like that that were like interactive and stuff like that, but which took a lot of not only like time and effort and creativity and really just expression, not only expression of creativity but expression of skill as well. But I think it also speaks to how like you don't need to be in Hollywood to make movies, which is good because there's some weird shit that goes on in Hollywood. But yeah. On an unrelated, Flats would also be so cool to fucking like stream with because he also just seems like such a chill guy. Everything I see of Flats, he just seems like such a chill dude, just a jolly dude as well. Queso and Jinxie would be fire too. I actually kind of got a laundry list going on, but yeah, that's neither here nor there though. Nobody's watching the stream, so I felt like I could say that. But yeah, am I ever gonna get to that point? Probably not. I shouldn't say that though. Who knows is what I should say. I have to work towards getting that point. Nobody will do it for me, so I'm not doing myself any favors by saying probably not. Always remember to stay positive, chat, and try and have as much confidence in yourself as you can. You're the only one who can amass and synthesize and bring into reality your dreams. Only you can do that. Nobody else can. That shit was so funny. First game I ever played was Insomniac Spider-Man. I love that game. I will definitely play that game on stream and make a YouTube video on that someday. For certain. Hey, the shaders are loading pretty quickly though. I'm happily surprised at this moment. Hell yeah. Here we go. We're going to go into the range a little bit first because it's been a hot minute since I played Rivals. So, I'm going to go into the range. We're also going to just lower our camera slightly. Okay, that didn't really change perspective for you guys at all. Some people are probably going to find it disgusting that I'm itching my nails so much. Okay, I got allergies. Alright, don't judge me. I do not play Star-Lord.
My domain
might
will one day
consider it one
encompass
day,
all
but not.
souls.
Oh shit!
An opportunity for combat.
Yikes. Okay, like I said, I haven't played for a long time.
Another soul to join my legions. Double kill! That's 3!
Oh.
Why bother? I am the goddess. All the other gods fear.
Holy guacamole, folks.
Who could fight the goddess of hell? An opportunity.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad. We're not gonna talk about it. I mean, I'm fucking drawing around this motherfucker at this point.
As expected. Another soul to join my legions.
I should strafe a little bit less. Look at that. I immediately.
As expected.
Okay, so strafing wasn't helping me. That's what's up. I immediately started performing better. I low-key need to consider another reticle. I have a lot of different reticles for Hela. I have this one. I got this one. I got fucking this. I got not this one. I got this one, and then there was another one I had to. This one too. I actually am gonna make a new crosshair with this though. So crosshair, we gotta go to advanced right here, no reticle animation. I'm thinking we thin this out by like a lot. I don't really think it matters, but probably like right there. Seems like it would be good. I gotta alter that opacity a little bit. I may go a little bit more visible for myself. Basically looks the exact same, but whatever. Okay, center gap. Hella 4, but I can't have a space in there. Got a Hella 3, a Hella 2, a Hella 1, and a Hella 4. We've evolved this over a long period of time. Motherfuckers are getting far away or something.
Another soul to join my legions. An
Hey.
opportunity for combat.
My posture is horrible.
Who could fight the goddess of hell?
That fucking whiffed. Holy shit. That'll blow up.
Hell's blades are sharp indeed. I am the goddess whom the other gods fear. Enemies perfect.
Fuck. Trying to get the headshot right there. There,
Another
got
soul
it there.
to join my legions.
Got it there too. Got it again. Okay, for Hella, I low-key have to lower my sense. Okay, for Hella specifically, this is for Hella specifically. I gotta lower my sense like to like probably 3.5. We're gonna do 3.65. I lied, we're doing 3.5. I take it back. Okay, that way it can be a little bit tighter.
As expected. Enemies perfect.
Kind of check them. I can check them way better with this.
Time is up. As expected.
Apparently Phoenix got buffed hella in these recent patches. I don't really know how to feel about that. It's funny I said hella because I'll shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. But nah, Phoenix got buffed like a lot, and they basically were trying to turn her into Hella, even though that's like really not her kit. But yeah, I just don't see the point to try and make her like Hella-esque.
Find that soul.
I
An
thought that would
opportunity
catch
for
it.
combat.
Alright, cool. This feels pretty good. That felt like a solid little warm up right there. To be truthful, chat, my stream has only peaked at like 4 current viewers, I think, ever. Pretty crazy, I know. Hold your applause. Events, that ends pretty soon. This ends pretty soon. I probably missed an event, if I imagine. I don't really care about that. Wait, what? I might get that. I'm not gonna lie. I fuck with the racing skins. They're kind of cool. This one's also really dope. I don't even play Penny though. These skins are leaving soon. This skin is fire. He just tentacle arm a mechanical horse. Yeah, just a tough skin overall. That's fucking badass. Holy shit. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's just they just made him orange. But now this is cool, and this is also cool. Holy shit. Yeah, that's fire. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. I mean, it's better than what we've gotten before, but they love showing Eddie Brock's face, bro. I don't know why. It's the motherfucker ain't pretty. Just put it away. We got magic right here. This is a pretty dope magic skin. I also like what they do with the sword. They're always pretty creative when it comes to magic skins. Gambit skin isn't that bad, but I don't know. I don't pretty. Actually, I do play Gambit, but it's not like a favorite skin of mine. I don't know. They kind of just turned him into a male stripper. I don't know what they were kind of going for with this. Definitely not getting that. Fire skin. Oh, it was the I know what it was. It was. Yeah, I missed that event. That's what it was. It was it was this shit. I don't know why this is here, because you can't acquire it, and it says coming soon, like you can acquire it. You can't. I don't know why it's showing you that. But yeah, I missed this whole event. That's what the fuck I missed. I had a feeling I missed one thing, and it was this. I just couldn't come to terms with purchasing it or not. I really didn't want to. I think there was like an Emma Frost skin and like a Phoenix skin and a Moon Knight skin. But yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't super into it. They always want you to spend money on this game, which I mean I get it, but and they're at least a little bit more better about it than other games are. Like Apex. Apex is like so money hungry. It's actually incredible, but. Yeah, I don't know. They wouldn't have it here. They wouldn't have it here because with the limited time skins they never show, which also pisses me off. Like they act like the limited time skins never exist like in the repertoire, and I guess I get it because it's like you can't acquire it because it was a limited time event. But even still, it annoys me. I imagine that there's going to be events where you can probably try and get some of those skins back, but I don't know. I'm indifferent to it at this point. Well, maybe not indifferent, but I'm annoyed by it at this point. That stays for like a long time. I still gotta do placement matches. The season ends in 11 days. Yeah, they gotta slow shit down with Rivals. I'm not gonna lie to you. They did one season where it was super long and people complained a little bit, and then they changed everything. And I don't know. I think you just got to extend the season out a little bit, and also because that gives more time for updates, and also lets people marinate with the characters a little bit longer. Like they're adding too many new characters. They're like it's like a challenge they've set for themselves. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm just gonna go support for this game.
Make way for the King of Thieves.
Make way for the King of Thieves. I'm gonna need to get water after this game. Let's look and see how our short is doing.
This is almost as fun as pulling a heist. Almost.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. It's actually doing really
I know
well.
that look all too well, Cher.
Today.
You want to tell me what's going through your pretty little head?
It's just, well, this ain't exactly the honeymoon you promised me, Remy.
I know, Mon Amour. But if we gotta be fighting this fight, at least we get to do it side by side, no?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Okay, it's doing pretty well. Granted, it is like fast food content that I kind of made, but it's the shortest extremely short. That was my bad. I gotta get back in there.
That's the boost
I let her down. I won't let her down.
Keep this rolling, Miss Me. Gambit got your back.
Gotta find that sniper for it.
Oh my god, he fucking. Hey, I gave him a fucking haircut just now. God damn. Give him a fucking buzz. Okay, he died. Time to back up.
Sniper in place.
Damn! Back up! Holy shit! Holy shit, he was all the way up there. Rogues do have that problem. I won't even lie. I've met a lot of rogues who just like dive fucking balls to the walls. Like they don't think things through. I'm going to hold on to
You're halfway there. Keep going.
I don't think that Venom is really doing his job well. He's supposed to be diving on the back line.
I am ready to put on a show.
We hold out. This is where I come. That was my bad. I did not. Oh, we got.
I don't think that's broken.
I'm moving. I low-key solar killed that. That's my bad. Oh my god, he put the fucking unicorn in the right, the exact fucking spot, bro. Can you believe that? Damn, hold up. My team has like juked me out. I never noticed it's Doctor Strange. That's fantastic. Actually, it's strange, but I'm sorry.
Hitting real hard.
Holy god damn! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What are you aiming at? Yeah, our tanks are kind of going high in there. Hella in there. I don't even know how I just died. First shot, she hit all game. I mean, you can't make this shit up, Willem. Oh my god. They got a Lord Gambit on their team. That's what's up. Oh my.
Gotta get out of here anyway. Might as well bring everyone.
Why are they so far up? God damn. I mean, Rogue is chasing this motherfucker. Oh dear. I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm cooked. I don't even. Oh, it was the Widow who pulled me back. I was like, I thought it was a Bucky chant. Holy shit, her Bucky so good. Oh shit. Ah, damn.
Can't keep this Cajun down for long.
Not good positioning on my. I should not have gone to that road.
The Phoenix is at full force.
Oh shit. Alright. I can't see her. She's playing behind the button point.
Gambit never falls!
Okay, we should back up.
Plasma.
Oh my god, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee.
Oh my god, he weaved my shit. Where are you?
That's better. Gambit never falls!
I only got the rogue. That was a horrible ult on my part. I can't even lie. What do you mean? How did he not die? He was 1 health that whole time. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Gambit coming back for more.
They got the point though. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, fucking damn. Yeah, if I were to ever try and collab with Vlasta, as I mentioned that like what 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I feel like that would require a lot more skill in video games that I actually kind of possess right now. I gotta get back into that. I've never been good at Overwatch. Granted, I've only really played Overwatch like a couple of times, and then I'm decent at Rivals. Never great.
Never miss! What are you aiming at?
Got him.
Now you do this.
Another epic victory.
Fire. That Gambit got more healing than I did, and I was playing Gambit I think the entire, and maybe he might have played the entire game, I don't know. But I did get more assists though, so there's that. That Venom was not doing his job. I mean, he did get a second MVP, but he was not, like, he kind of did it towards the end, but he really needed to be diving our back lines the entire time. I guess he was kind of doing that though. I don't really know. What do I know? I'm talking like I am flats, bro. Holy shit. Yo, upvotes all around, bro. Upvote inflation in this bitch. I don't know if I claimed all the gallery cards for. It was what? Volume. Was it? No, it wasn't this. This is a. You can still get that. It was. I got almost all of them. There's one more I have to get. And it's the one at the end of the battle pass. I did get the premium version of that battle pass. This shit costs, I mean, hella to get though. Like, you need a ton to redeem all this shit. How much do I have to make for this? I have to make 10k. I have to make 10k. Sorry, 12k. I have to make 12k in order to even unlock this specifically. Unbelievable. The only thing good in this battle pass was really this skin and like this skin too. This skin was pretty good. This skin is decent. This skin is just a joke basically. That skin else is also eh. And then this is also a pretty good skin. That's pretty much it. They love showing stomachs on Rivals, bro. They love giving all the lady skins, bro. Hey, I'm not judging or anything, but I'm reaping the rewards of that. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. Like I was saying, I mean, brother, she's wearing literal jungle leaves. That's all that's like. We got some fucking banana leaves covering this shit up. There's nothing else. Like, I mean, oh my god, we low-key got to turn her around. We might get not blocked, but fuck no. Keep turning around. Dude, we might get banned on Twitch. a dangerous thing to playing with her. That's not a bad skin. He's just kind of purple. They just like hollow dipped him. Like, that's pretty much it. This is a fire skin though. She's basically also wearing nothing in this, but she's wearing some very skin tight clothing in this. But regardless, I'll fuck with the racing like VFX stuff. Like you get like the racing sound effects for all your attacks and stuff. I fuck with it. Baby, are you down, 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 down? You gotta decrypt, and then you gotta search. Yeah, okay. That's gonna piss me off. They did that for last season too. It annoyed me. Just let me see the shit I'm trying to unlock, okay? We don't gotta do all this shit. We're gonna do some play matches. Also got a key light. All my other streams, I didn't have a key light. I finally have a key light. I had to rearrange my entire setup, and I also brought my console over here to my setup. My PC used to be over here. Now it's over here. Give my monitor a bit more breathing room. Eventually, I want to get a second monitor, which means I'm going to have to get a way bigger desk. But right now, we got the PC right here. The good old CyberPower PC. We work with what we got. Went to Best Buy one time. They sold me. Safe to say. I don't know if I feel very secure with my choice now, but you know, I gotta live with it. At least until I'm making enough bread where that becomes like a luxury that I can just afford whenever. But then I got my console right here, and then I got some books and whatnot that I have yet to recomb through. I was like reading Percy Jackson and rereading Percy Jackson, and I'm reading the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings right now. But I have not. I put those books down, and I haven't picked them back up. We should probably do that soon. I'm gonna wait. Okay. I might consider tanking.
Round 1, go!
Triple support. That's what's up. You're
Be wary. No timeline.
just put back.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Aw, I wanted to. Damn it! Fuck! I haven't talked out loud like this for a very long time, so my voice isn't warmed up for it. Yo, baby, are you down? Down, down, down,
This
down.
battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks. Better stop that vehicle.
Wow, Blade actually killed. How did that Venom come back so quickly? Oh, they got a rocket. That's how.
My power cannot be quelled.
My power was very quelled. Got a pick though.
So much for Moon Knight's Song.
I get the shit. I'm fucking leaving the hell out of it.
There's another one down. This is real firepower!
Holy guacamole, folks. There we go. That was a good split off. Down the support. Oh, you got it back up. Where is my... Oh no. Oh my god, I can't fucking see. I don't think we're into that damage. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
Us against the world!
Holy fuck, I got her. Holy shit. I fail those all the time, chat. That's why I'm so happy. Oh my god, I missed that again. Oh my god, I got rid of it immediately. Fuck yes, bro. Holy shit. We're locked in. We are locked in. She just walked in. That's what's up. I think she gave up.
Down to 30 seconds. Just too quick for you.
God. Holy shit, we got it. Oh my god. And I was doing like the worst on the team.
0-2-0. Time to switch things up.
Holy smokes.
Which side you're
This will
on.
probably be my last match, and then I'm gonna get off because I have
You'll
to
need a
start getting up
top-notch
earlier
team
so
to
I
win
can
this one.
film content and stream and shit. I gotta get consistent. I gotta put myself on a schedule, make myself accountable and shit like that. Hell yeah. Waka Flocka Flame. I didn't notice they're
Round 2.
tagged before.
Dreamed of a safe haven for all mutants. At last, I have made it a reality.
God team. Is there still a team up with Wolverine and Phoenix? Yes, there is. Holy shit. This is actually, we do got some tank shredders in here.
I'm sorry. I should never have left.
Yeah, Wolverine is really good for counteracting Venom stuff because he can kind of just stick around
The things
the
I've
back
done.
lines and then just kind of wait for him.
Bad things, Genie. Now's our chance to make
I'm kind of talking out of my ass. Maybe Wolverine's not a good counter. I don't fucking
Starts in
know.
5, 4,
So actually, when you consider the team comps, actually, that's fucking hard.
1.
So it's not optimal. Might have said. Okay, okay. I gotta get
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Holy shit, I gotta get covered.
Stick with us. We'll have to land in no time.
God damn.
So
Okay. I didn't hit anybody. Oh.
all shielded up.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Why'd he come back so quickly? Oh my god, he's CCing me. He's CCing me. I have to stay this lane.
This is real firepower!
Alright, Ty. Now we really have to attack.
I'm still on the board. Got this support. Alright, we're on it. We win those. Fuck yeah, baby.
Unstable.
Fuck yeah, we win those.
1, 2, 0.
We did low-key roll them, which tells me that this is still not skill-based matchmaking, but whatever. Yeah, Rivals is not in a good state right now. I mean, they're still making money and shit, but like, they are beginning to they're not fulfilling the satisfaction of the community that they were initially. And Overwatch kind of like actually like turning a new leaf and stuff like that definitely isn't helping that, but you know, I think it'll fuel competition, which is good. Or it won't, and then maybe Marvel Rivals dies, but I think they're going to be somewhat sustainable as long as they listen to their player base. Baby, are you down, 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 down? That is certainly a spray. Most of the sprays in the game are low-key ass. Oh, I don't have enough. Let's check out this battle pass. They love giving Jeff skins. I mean, Guang Guang is Jeff's sugar daddy at this point. I mean, holy shit. Probably the worst Johnny Storm skin, Human Torch skin I've ever seen. This isn't bad. I actually kind of fuck with this. The wooden hammer is like, but I'm sure it's comic accurate, so I fuck with the metal arm and shit. Cowboy Mantis, not bad. I don't really fuck with this skin, but I'm sure some people probably do. Is this motherfucker in the pool? Oh my god. Yo, we got Rock Candy Thing. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Primal Patriot. This was really similar to like the Gladiator. This one's similar to the Gladiator Captain America skin that they had. I actually really fuck with this Gambit skin. I saw a motherfucker in a game with this, so he's already gotten to level 9 in the battle pass already. Holy shit. There really are some motherfuckers that know like this game. Very cool Star-Lord skin as well. Crazy Rogue skin. What are these mechanical horses, bro? Like, who is making these horses? I mean, she isn't even, like, what is the... These aren't even shorts, Shotty. Like, these are just underwear. You fashion them into panties, have you not? I don't know who this is supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be... It kind of looks like... I don't know. I was going to say the Collector, but the Collector usually wears more like... illustrious kind of garb and shit like that. He's a very flamboyant guy. I think I'm using that word correctly. I don't actually know. But I don't know who this could be. I don't know a lot of like blonde-haired Marvel villains. But yeah, I don't know. We're bronze 2 now. That's our placement. I gotta do like 8 more of those. I'll probably do that next stream, which I'll hopefully do tomorrow. If not, it'll definitely be like Tuesday or something. But I'm gonna try and make it tomorrow. But yeah, I'll probably try and just do that, stream a little bit of Rivals, and then start the Batman playthrough. And then go from there. Yeah. All right. Chat. I'm dipping. Oh my god, I didn't show any of that. Nope, I didn't show any of that. So we know what's not going to be going into a possible YouTube video. Yerp. That's what's up. Yerp. Yeah. Well, cool. We make mistakes sometimes. We live and learn. We live and learn. Anywho. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If anyone tuned in. If not, it's alright. Small streamer. I'm easy to miss, you know what I'm saying? I don't blame you. But, yeah. Alright, peace. Love y'all. Be safe. Be easy.